Have you ever felt a sudden, cold distance grow between you and someone you love? For me, that feeling started subtly. My wife, Sarah, and I had been married for 8 years. We were that couple, the one everyone thought had it all figured out, had our routines, our inside jokes, our shared dreams. But lately, Sarah was always on her phone, a small, secretive smile playing on her lips. When I'd ask what was so amusing, she'd just wave it off, saying it was just some silly online group. But my gut told me it was more than that. The late-night typing, the way she'd quickly close her laptop when I walked in. The signs were all there. I remember the night everything came crashing down. I finally confronted her. I wasn't angry, just heartbroken. I asked her straight out, "Sarah, is there someone else?" The silence that followed was deafening. Then, through her tears, she confessed. It wasn't a physical affair, not in the traditional sense. It was an emotional one. She had met a man named Alex in an online hobby forum. It started innocently, just conversations about shared interests. But soon, it morphed into something deeper. They were sharing their daily struggles, their dreams, their fears, things she had stopped sharing with me. He became her digital confidant, her emotional escape. She said she felt seen and heard by him in a way she had unfelt with me in years. Hearing those words was like a punch to the gut. I felt replaced. The life we had built together suddenly felt like a fragile house of cards. My first instinct was to lash out, to blame her entirely. How could she do this to us? But as I looked at her, sobbing and filled with regret, I saw a woman who was just as lost and hurt as I was. She wasn't a monster. She was my wife, who had made a terrible mistake while feeling lonely within our own marriage. It was a wake-up call for both of us. We had stopped communicating, stopped truly connecting. We were living parallel lives under the same roof. The emotional affair wasn't the cause of our problems. It was a symptom of a much deeper issue. We stood at a crossroads. We could either let this tear us apart completely, or we could face the painful truth and try to rebuild. We chose to fight. It wasn't easy. It meant having raw, brutally honest conversations we had been avoiding for years. We decided to go to couples therapy, which was one of the best decisions we ever made. Our therapist helped us unpack years of unspoken resentments and miscommunications. We learned how to listen to each other again, not just to respond, but to understand. Sarah deleted all contact with Alex and committed herself fully to our healing process. I had to learn to trust her again, which was a day-by-day, sometimes hour-by-hour battle. Slowly, painstakingly, we began to piece our marriage back together. It wasn't about going back to how things were. It was about building something new, something stronger and more honest. We started scheduling us time, no phones allowed. We rediscovered the simple joys of just being together. The journey was long, and there were days filled with doubt. But that decision to fight for our marriage, to choose each other even when it was hard, changed our lives. Our relationship today isn't perfect, but it's real. It's built on a foundation of forgiveness, understanding, and a renewed commitment. This painful chapter taught us that a strong marriage isn't about avoiding storms, but about learning how to navigate them together. Thanks for listening to our story. If you're going through something similar, remember that communication is key, and it's never too late to choose to fight for love.